Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed since last time. Texas refuses to implement Obamacare. Yes, Rick Perry, one of the few people George W. Bush could justifiably stand beside wearing an I'm with stupid t-shirt, recently announced that Texas would not be creating a state health insurance exchange and would not be expanding its Medicaid program to get in compliance with the Affordable Care Act. And you know, seeing as how the quality of healthcare in Texas was recently rated dead last in a report by the Department of Health and Human Services, it's really plain to see that when Perry says that Texas doesn't need the federal government telling them how to run healthcare in their state, that he's absolutely wrong. Clearly they do. Daniel Tosh, rape joke outrage. Stand-up comic Daniel Tosh was performing a set at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles week before last when an audience member responded to a bit in his act where he says that rape jokes are always funny, and how can they not be because rape itself is so hilarious, by yelling, "Actually, rape jokes are never funny." And then Tosh responded to that by saying, "See, wouldn't it be funny if she were raped by like 5 people right now?" Add a blog article and some Twitter responses and voila, internet outrage. But to me, the really offensive thing in this story isn't that Tosh was joking about rape. It's that this member of the audience interrupted his fucking show. I mean, look, I'm not even a stand-up comic, and I find it offensive whenever someone in the audience decides to open their fucking face during someone else's show. I mean, for Christ's sake, let the person on stage do their job, which you have paid to see them do, by the way. If something they say isn't funny, if you find one of their jokes offensive, fine, don't laugh. And if it's just so horrible that you can't stand to be there anymore, then get up and walk out. And by all means, after the fact, write your blog article, go to Twitter and complain about what a horrible, offensive joke it was. But right there, in that moment, during the show, show some respect for the performer and for your fellow audience members, and shut the fuck up! And by the way, Tosh's premise for that joke, that rape jokes are always funny because rape is inherently funny, was designed to be tasteless and offensive and provocative, not only to make an ironic comment on the lack of hilarity inherent to the act of rape, but also to demonstrate that you can take something horrible and tragic and totally negative like rape and transform it as a concept, not as an act, into something positive, like a joke that makes people laugh. Do you fucking get it? You know, it just really ruins the joke when you have to explain it. U.S. Olympic uniforms made in China. The uniforms for the 2012 U.S. Olympic team, designed by Ralph Lauren, were manufactured in China, and Congress, demonstrating both the firm grasp of priorities and the measured sense of proportion for which that august body is justly renowned, is pissed. Speaker of the House John Boehner said he would have thought that the U.S. Olympic Committee would have known better. And Democratic Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid went one better and said he thinks they ought to gather up all those uniforms into a pile and burn them. Guys, chill out. Why the outrage? I mean, it's not like the U.S. Olympic Committee was trying to offer increased access to affordable health care. Egyptian Muslims want to destroy the pyramids. Sheikh Abdul al-Latif al-Mahmoud recently called on Egypt's newly elected Islamist president Mohamed Morsi to destroy the Great Pyramids, which he considers to be relics of Egypt's ancient pagan pre-Islamic past. You know, on one hand, I'm appalled by the suggestion that these great priceless pieces of history, these monuments to human achievement, be destroyed to appease a bunch of proudly ignorant religious thugs whose minds are still stuck back in the fucking 7th century. But on the other hand, who's gonna stop them? I mean, if they want to vandalize their own country's culture, if they want to take the most celebrated achievement of their country and erase it because they think it offends their fucking prick-faced God, who am I to tell them not to? Let them cut their own tits off. One less reason to have to go to Egypt. Romney at the NAACP convention. Mitt Romney addressed the NAACP convention last week and got booed when he said that he would repeal the Affordable Care Act. Later that day, he was speaking in front of a friendlier crowd, and he said, hey, you know what? If people want free stuff from the government, then they can go ahead and vote for the other guy. Yeah, and then he went on Neil Cavuto's show and he said that he gave the same message to the NAACP as he gives to everybody. Obamacare is a job killer and it's gotta go. Yeah, that's right, Mitt. You tell them, you talk tough, and you get those black folks to boo you and court that Republican base. The problem is, when you watch the actual video of Mitt's speech at that moment, his image as a tough-talking, fearless truth teller kind of begins to fade.
I'm going to eliminate every non-essential, expensive program I can find. That includes Obamacare, and I'm going to work to reform and save.
And that includes Obamacare. And another thing. Yeah, you are all man, Mitt. All craven, gutless, pandering man. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.